Hey everybody, welcome. We got Rose Thorn, Airy Pepperoni, Dwight Cookie. We're putting all three of you on right now. Hello Rose, hello Airy, hey.
Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi guys.
It's nice to
Pepperoni.
talk to you all.
Indeed. Rose, it's your first time on the panel. Thanks for coming on. Really appreciate you. That's awesome.
Thank you for having me, sir.
Yeah, you're very welcome. So what did you want to talk about? There's a lot happening, but yet not much because this is kind of part of the cycle that's been going on for months.
Well, I just got through watching her video and reacting to it, and I was just seeing so much in it. I was just seeing things that I've seen before with Chantal, like her eating the ice cream. We've seen that before, Monty. She does that after a heavy night of partying with Natter. She'll eat the ice cream.
Mm-hmm.
Her throat is completely effed up over the cola. That's not the vid. That's the cola drip. If she were really sick with the vid, she wouldn't be eating dairy. That's the worst thing
Amen.
for a throat. I mean, just
Can I add to that, Rose? And I just wanted to come up. I can't be here too long because I got to put the kiddo to bed. But I just want to say I had COVID in January.
hmm
Matter of fact, January 17th, it hit me so quick. And I'm talking about fever, shiver, joint pain, headache. Like 1 minute I was okay, the next minute I almost fainted. Okay. And I'm watching her and I'm like, okay, well, maybe it's slowly progressing on her. But then I'm like, well, no, because why would it slowly progress on her with all the health issues she has? And then it hits others as hard. So if she's lying about this, it's just another crappy excuse for her to get away with seeing Natter and another offensive thing she's doing to others. And I wouldn't wish COVID on my worst enemy. I had no appetite. Even today, I struggle with my appetite.
well, she's actually using the vid as a deflection tactic because she's in hot water with seeing Natter. That's what this is. Before, she used to use the ER visits. Remember, she had to go to the ER all the time. Like she would get in trouble, then all of a sudden she's got to go to the hospital. Well, now she's not going to the hospital. She's just coming up with other things to deflect. So what she's going to do is she's going to deflect using the vid for a while. Everybody's not mad at her. And then she's going to wait until everybody's not mad and then talk about something else. In the meantime, she's free to see Natter on the sly and nobody will question if she's not on camera for a while.
That part right there. That part.
We see you, Chantal. We see you all the way over here.
Rose just said everything I wanted to say, so I think I'll just hop off.
Yeah, pretty much we're all seeing the same thing you're seeing, Rose. I said the same thing before
Love you,
about,
Rose.
Love you too.
the tactics that she's using, so I concur. What can I say? So do I know where she is right now? I'm not even sure if she's gonna be back on. Maybe she will, maybe she won't. I have no idea. Hey, do I Cookie, did you want to say something?
Yeah, I just sort of wanted to explore that idea that I had about her traveling plans because she's picking all these places that are going to be really hot once again and lots of walking. And she's really got this travel bug, but her Cuba trip wasn't really traveling at all. She just relocated for food. She didn't travel, she didn't go out, she didn't do it like traveling like most people would travel. So I don't really think she has a concept of what traveling actually will be to new places. So I think my idea with her looking for unique places to stay would be a much easier transition for her to start traveling. And then if she improves her health, which she probably won't, then move on to sightseeing and visiting places and doing activities because that's out of her realm at this point physically. And mentally, she shouldn't be going anywhere. She should be going straight to a hospital, great, straight to find a therapist, straight into therapy before she does anything else.
I
That's my
agree.
opinion.
Can I just interject one really quick thing? Which, speaking of Cuba, since you were talking about Cuba and her trip to Cuba, what struck me was that her trip to Cuba and all of her so-called footage from so-called Cuba was footage of her. It was her face. We never went, and I kept posting this in chat, whether it be in your chat, Monty, or other people's chat. This wasn't about Cuba. This was about her. That this whole thing was her allegedly traveling somewhere, allegedly taking us to some foreign wherever. And then we always saw, what do we see? We saw her face. We saw her rant. We saw her her fake tears, her crocodile tears. We saw, 5 seconds of a beach. And then she goes and she complains about the dude eating relish. But wait a minute, this chick was the one eating cafeteria spaghetti. So what was this all about? She's trying to pretend that she's some sort of world traveler, woke person. I'm so into everything. But no, she's not. This was about her. This was about her own thing. And that was it. This was selfish. This was as selfish as anything. And the other thing that I just want to mention too is that, whenever she talks about giving money and donating money, these are all monies these have strings attached. Whether it's that she gets a BJ from this whole thing, that she gets a so-called boy from this thing, you know what I mean? It's just BS. The whole thing is BS, and it's all for clout. So there you go. That's my spiel.
I think I have a theory about why she wanted to go on this trip. Think about what goes into going into a trip. Think about it. It's about money, right? You need lots of money to go travel. So that was just another way for her to get money out of her VIPers. Oh, I'm going on a trip. So that would prompt people to give more money to her through super chats. And it was also a way to deflect away from Natter and give the impression that she was getting away from him, which is something that everybody on her channel has been waiting for the longest. Everybody is so tired of hearing about Natter, and they want him out of the picture. That's why they were excited when he filed charges against him. They're like, finally, he's going to be out of the picture. He might be going to the jail. Honestly, I don't think any charges were filed. I think it was a bunch of BS. If you think back to that day when she did the live stream, what did we see of Foodie? We saw her drive up to a building, park to the side of a building. We did not see the name of the building. There was nothing to identify it. She parked the car, she got out, and she disappeared for a while and then came back. But we never saw any proof that she talked to a police officer, that we never saw any proof of any charges being filed. We heard that he got picked up, but no proof of that too. And he's been seeing her. So if you were someone on probation, if you've been in trouble with the law before, would you chance seeing that person knowing that's going to send you back to jail? No. But this whole trip that she had planned, that was a way to get more money out of people and give the impression that she's starting a new life and this is a whole new journey for us and people are excited and to get more money. It's all money related, all of it, every single bit of it. Her, Natter, Dee Dee, and Pete's, they're all in it together. She's the employer, they're the employees. Paid by Chantal. So you know what? They're going to do whatever Chantal wants them to do, including lie for her. Including lie.
I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree that they're all in cahoots more. And my friend Gary actually called it way back when. He's like, all three of these are in it together.
Facts.
All three of them. It's incredible that the same. It's like a repeat. It's like we're on pause, repeat, pause, repeat, pause, repeat. And now we have Raging Chantal, followed by soon to be ER Arc Chantal. And then what? Right back to the same cycle.
Yeah, because her content is just like the 5 same subject that she puts on rotation.
Exactly.
Let's talk about something medical and then switch over to Natter. I think that all this drama that we've been seeing between her and Natter, y'all, that's on purpose. Think about it. When she's not on Natter's channel, what do his views look like? What does his super chats look like? Seriously, his views suck. His super chats suck. So, of course, they're talking, and she knows that. So to help out his channel, which helps her out because she's covering his expenses to a certain degree, she's got to keep the views on his channel. And how do you do that? By talking about him. Since she filed these charges allegedly against him, she can't be on his channel. Am I correct? So she's got to find some other way to keep people looking at his channel and paying attention. So people are going over there looking for the tea, looking for the dirt. So he's going to get views. He's going to get super chats. He might get some people signing up. That's why she's doing it. All this drama is fake. She never stopped seeing him. Never stopped talking to him. She turned on his phone. She never turned it off. I mean, her and Natter and DZ had a threesome. Are you kidding me? These people that you supposedly hate, you're going to do something intimate with Dee Dee? Really? You're going to do that? Seriously, you're going to do that? And you hate this person? Okay. All right now.
I'm sorry. When you said threesome, I just got that instant mental image from Cheyenne Jasmine's channel where they get lost in the fupa. I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm just picturing Natter in the fupa. I'm sorry. I'm stupid.
I think she would do anything to get Natter's approval and to please him. I think she would do anything. I think there's nothing that she wouldn't do. So, but I
She'd
definitely
degrade
don't think
herself in any way
yeah.
possible to make him happy. She has no bottom with that man.
So I mean, I don't think she was forced.
No.
I think her anger towards them both is real. When she was screaming at that TV for Dee Dee to go home, and then we got the serial attempts to make Dee Dee leave him, I think that was real. I think when she was screaming, "Go home, Dee Dee, go home." I mean, I think it was real. It was like so. It was so base in its.
Is it Andrea or Andrea?
It's Andrea.
Okay, Andrea. I think you're onto something because I do think that the only emotion Chantal can genuinely show is jealousy.
Oh yeah, I agree. I mean, I think she's experienced so much rejection, and this is anybody. This is me. You know, after you experience rejection, like you get rejected, it hurts. Boy, does it hurt. But one thing that I was taught, I don't know if Chantal's ever heard this, is that you're not everybody's cup of tea. You're not going to be everybody's cup of tea. But one thing you have to be able to live with yourself. And I don't know if anybody taught her shame or if anybody taught her, what's the word? It's not shame I'm looking for. Self-esteem or
Be
self-respect
humble.
or
Be
humility.
humble.
Yeah, it's like when she gets rejected, it's not like, dang, man, maybe they rejected me because I don't have the best hygiene or something. I mean, you really have to look at yourself, But boy, does she get angry. How dare you?
Oh God, Andrea, one second. Monty, you did not just put that in the chat, sir.
What did he put in the chat? I didn't see it. Wait.
Encourage her, sir. Do not encourage her.
What did he put in the chat?
I put that she was pretty good at karaoke.
Oh my God. Colin, get him.
No, dang.
Listen, I publicly will say this. I'm refraining from any further conversations about one's singing abilities because apparently that starts up some trouble. So I'm staying out of that one. I also want to make another, I can't. It seems no matter what I say, it's taken out of context. Okay, so about earlier, the whole Tiger Talks thing, I saw a lot of comments that were very upset about that whole thing. And I respect and I do agree with some of it, that I guess, certain things that were said about like their intentions. I don't argue that someone has a strong, passionate feeling about victims and about people that hurt people. And I agree with all of that is what I was trying to say. What I don't agree with is taking those things, because your passion can also be your failure. You know what I'm saying? It can make you do things, not to quote Will Smith, but sometimes, things will make you do other things that maybe are not the best choice, is what I was trying to say. And I think because of the back and forth that was going on and the insults that were being, slung, listen, I get as reactional as it comes, but I also know when I can be wrong. And I do apologize if I jumped down anybody's throat. I didn't want to, do that, because I'm trying to respect the chat as well as us up here.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want it to be like, oh, Kali is like attacking people for saying their piece. It's got nothing to do with that. It's the fact of the way that people keep coming after us and saying all of these things about us because we're so this, that, and the other thing when nobody knows who we are. Okay. I mean, we have a good idea of Chantel, Nader, Pete's, all of them, because we're very informed with their content. But these other people that come back and say things like, "Oh, they're middle-aged, they're stupid, they're losers," it irritates the heck out of me. But at the same time, I'm like, you know what? It's all the same premise. We all say the same thing. We're all on the internet. So that goes for them as well. They can say whatever they want. I don't care. But I just wanted to put it out there that my opinions are mine. I'm not looking to turn anybody, to my side or anything of that nature. I just wanted to make it known that, I wasn't trying to shut her down. I was trying to say if she really felt the way she did, instead of like lashing out at the chat, lashing out at the panel, that she should come up here and say what she needs to say.
Can I add that I deleted the very nasty comments that Tiger Talks was saying? So maybe if you were watching the replay, you're not going to get an idea of what she was saying in full. I just didn't want comments that were, talking about people's looks or age or anything that you're not doing anything good if you're trying to make an argument. And one of the first things you say is start talking about somebody's looks. You already lost your argument
You
right
already
then and there.
lost.
Yeah,
You already
Mhm.
lost.
you're lost
You lost.
already.
There's
I agree.
there is nothing to be gained. If you want to state your piece and say your side, people will listen to you. But as soon as you come for somebody's looks or you start slinging insults, there's nothing you can say after that to be heard. And
Exactly.
to be called a bully, I was not even thinking about Tiger Talks when I woke up today. I was thinking about, dang, what is Chantal gonna do today? This is crazy. Who was thinking about Tiger Talks? I wasn't. And then you call me a bully. Yeah, I am middle aged. Facts. That's a fact. But I'm like, whoa, who's bullying you? I don't even know who you are. I don't agree with what you did, but why you're calling me names and stuff, I have no idea. I don't even know what I did to you. But if you want some, here it is. It's just a reaction. It was just a reaction. And so, I'm not a saint by any means. I'm definitely not you know, I, what somebody just said it. If all you have is insults, you're on very shaky ground. And maybe they just felt like they had to respond in some kind of way because they felt like everybody in the Chantal verse was attacking them and what they did because they didn't get the reaction they wanted. But lashing out at people and calling names, it's just not the way to go. If you feel that what you did was right, then you should be able to articulate that without abusing others verbally. Period. So I felt like Kali was. I didn't hear anything that Kali said that was out of pocket. Not just me, but the stuff that Tiger Talks was posting in the chat was really uncalled for. It was unwarranted to be said in this space. So, but anyway,
I'm sorry. Did that just happen? Like, did I miss
it happened
something?
earlier.
Happened earlier.
Yeah.
And
Oh.
listen, I have had before, StreamYard, there was when Google used to have Hangouts. I mean, there's some people in the chat that knows what I'm talking about because some of them were on, Gary. We used to have live stuff going on my Hangouts and stuff of that nature. And I always used to say, even people I disagreed with, I would always allow them up on my channel because I wanted to hear everybody's side. As long as people were basically just respectful and not slinging back and forth, which at that time, that's all it was because it was stuck in the middle of drama. That's a whole other situation. But like I said, I come from that. So I understand a lot of this, even on the side of a person in the chat saying, but I feel this way. And I think I should be, I think I should be noticed for that. And I think, you guys are a bunch of idiots for thinking this. I get it. I get why you sit with those feelings.
Nobody
because,
was talking about
right.
that,
I know, but I'm saying a lot of people are saying now about, whatever she decided to do. So now here's another reaction channel saying, oh, it wasn't smart for her to make that call. Listen, that's our opinion. That's what everybody does is they give an opinion. Chantel. Okay. So it's just, the thing of the nature is why is everybody taking it to such degrees? Even her. Excuse me, ma'am. Last I checked, this is where I live. It's the United States of America. We have freedom of speech. So last I checked, whatever I'm saying up here, I have my full right to. Just like you can sit in Canada and do what you do. You know what I'm saying? And if I have a channel which is out there and I got a lot of stuff out there, it's up for grabs to comment about too. I'm saying it goes both ways. My whole contention with her today is that she was saying what I did was because of the lack of, this, what she did to victims and how it was ignored. And I get all that. But like you said, nobody was coming after her. She attacked,
Right.
and I stood up and I said, hey, if that's the way you feel, then come up here. There's some people that disagreed with that because there was this whole thing on, I just read in the comments, and I respect that. And I don't want people to think that I'm up here trying to shoot, little darts at people saying, nah, you don't matter. You're not valid because you're sitting over there. It's not the way it is. No matter which way you look at this, it is people that are having a discussion about certain things. And it's not always about the person. It's about what that person represents. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a normal reaction to tell someone who's saying nasty things towards you to be like, hey, there's a link right there. Just come say it to me since you're so opinionated. I don't see nothing wrong with that personally.
Right. But it was getting to the point of like she was insulting people, all of
Oh
us.
yeah. Oh, that's cute. That's always cute, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So if anyone's confused, Tiger Talks was the lady that made the phone calls and recorded it, calling the motel that Nader was at. When was this? Was this Thursday night? And she posted a video about it. Foodie Beauty raised in her community post and then came back online and said certain things. Then that same night, super early in the morning, the video was deleted. Then Target Talks came earlier in Monty After Dark this morning, a couple hours ago, but she kept on going with ad hominem attacks, and I don't like that. If you're gonna make a point, make your point.
Mm,
I will hear your point out, even if you don't agree with anything I say. But you don't come with attacks talking about how people are, how they look, and anything like that. That just undermines your whole argument. Because if we're
right.
gonna use a sarcastic method to error points out and have a discussion, then don't do or use ad hominem attacks. Even if you're angry, just come back another time and let's listen to your opinion in a mature and sounded fashion. But all she
Exactly.
kept on doing was going off on people, and I had to delete the really nasty comments because I don't want that to be rendered in my live stream when it turns into a video. I don't want to have people get
Mm.
bashed for doing what? Nothing. We're having a decent
For having an
conversation.
opinion.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not the community that you've cultured over here. Everybody respects the opinion, whether they agree or not. So I think that was a very wise thing for you to do, is to curate the conversation in your chat, because it's yours. It's your
Hmm.
community that you're garnering here, no one else's. So I really respect you for doing that, Monty. I think you're, and protecting all the people in your chat is part of your job as a moderator as well. So I appreciate, even though I wasn't affected, but I appreciate that if somebody were to come for me or someone else, you would also take that into consideration. That's why we come here. We know we're protected by you.
I agree. And on that note, can I just go ahead and say goodnight? I'll be in the chat. I have to go put the kiddos to bed. Thank you so much for
Mm.
hearing me out, and it was lovely talking to all of you.
I'm going to
Bye.
pop out too because I'm
Bye.
starving. I need to go and eat something.
No problem. Thank you for being on panel.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Cookie.
All right. So then there was four on the dais. All right. So okay, so we had Target Talks. We have sometimes we have people coming in here and there with like very obscene names, is how I could put it. So please be aware that I will have to yeet you if you come in with a rather obscene name. And what else? I'm all about fairness, but I cannot have you with saying certain things that are just egregious and not within the realm of being fair. Other than that, what can we talk about? I don't know. Dee Dee went out
Oh
girls' night.
wow, Dee Dee.
Yeah.
Dee Dee. Dee Dee had a girls' night, and Nader did not look happy.
Oh, did she do the deed?
I don't know. I don't know what happened, but Dee Dee came and she was just like, "Sorry guys, I just took a shower. It's my birthday weekend, so I'm going out with the girls." And I was just like, "Okay, okay, Dee Dee," but it was kind of like Nader was just sitting there like he did not approve or whatever. I was like, "You in her house? I dare you to say something. Say something, Nader." So it was really interesting because I'm just wondering, like, I don't know. I don't know. The vibe is weird. The situation is strange. And it makes me wonder, really. And if I got more of that, if I got more of content that I could analyze, I would probably watch Natter. But it would have to be for more content like that. Because just watching Natter is not interesting. But if Dee Dee's giving him sass like that, I tune in. I just that's what I want to see. So if like Monty starts covering the sassy Dee Dee, I would watch that. But I'm never
But
gonna go to his channel.
I wonder how long Sassy Dee Dee's gonna last though,
I
because
wonder.
I really
Hi.
do. Hello, ITR, YouTube
Hi.
Rejects. What's up?
I'm so sorry, Monty. I've just been working so much. I haven't been able to email you.
It's all
But
good.
but here's the thing. I have a hard time writing it out because for me, I don't really have proof of what I feel like happened because I have more content than just her, and that stuff was not filtered out, and my style is pretty much the same. So it's like I feel like if it was bots, it would have gotten more. You know what I mean? The language they used was "you've been reported," so that made me feel like it was like probably viewers, probably of hers. Then
Yeah.
again, I didn't want to say that the first time I guessed it because I don't know, I don't have proof, and you know how we are around here. We like to, if I don't have proof, I don't want to say it, right? Because that's how the community is, right? You need receipts. But I've just noticed similar patterns when that's happened to other people. This is what's happened to me. And when I privated like all my stuff, all my stuff that wasn't hers, it saved all the other, like my other stuff was perfectly fine. So it's weird
Okay.
to me.
Mm-hmm.
That's just my thought process really in short. I just thought it'd be easier to hop on here than to type out an email because I'm just not as good typing out my thoughts. Hopefully that's okay, but
Yeah, no problem. I don't have an issue with that. Hopefully,
yeah,
like I said, I wish you the best.
I'm just gonna be, a good girl and
Yeah, you
like
got to be very
I'm gonna
careful.
behave and well, I'm not even gonna use hers content. I know people can and I know it's TOS. I'm just not going to right now while I'm in that position because strikes don't go away right away. So
Yeah.
I'm just gonna I'm just gonna be very just although it wouldn't be doing anything wrong, I'm just gonna keep away from that for now until everything's like settled, basically.
Okay, no problem.
Anyways, sorry. What were you guys talking about, Dee Dee?
Yeah, we're talking about
Yeah.
Sassy Dee Dee.
Yeah. So somebody said that it wasn't her birthday weekend. So was she trying to take a shot at Natter? Because it was recently Chantal's birthday weekend. So was that like shots fired or what?
Well, Chantal did say that Dee Dee was an Aries as well, so that would line up with them having birthdays in a closer amount of time. Then again, I have no idea when their birthdays are, so I just know Aries is like March and April, so I don't really know much else.
It's kind of
And she's-
ironic.
She said that she said it was her birthday. She said, "I'm going out for my birthday weekend. Woohoo!"
So was that like pretending to be Chantal? Because Chantal won her birthday weekend with Natter, and I would be salty about that. Like
Yeah, but look what she did. She did the opposite instead of staying with him.
But then again, like Chantal would never actually prioritize friends over him. That's probably why he got annoyed, but he couldn't say anything because it's her house, but also like she's doing something that he didn't predict her to do. And I don't know, with Chantal, she always went over his place. So he just ran the show and he just runs the show with Chantel anyways. But Chantel doesn't really prioritize friendships or any of that. So she would blow them off for Nader. Meanwhile, I hope Dee Dee actually did follow through with that night out.
Hi, everyone. I don't know if you can hear me.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm Loopy Star here. I did have COVID about 2 years ago, I guess, when it first came out. And since I did keto, it really didn't affect me. So it might not affect her because, you know, she's Chantel. She's a superhero for everybody. But I'm hoping that she, you know, she survives it, which I'm sure she will. But, you know, she's like, what is it with when you get a certain weight and just like so much stuff happens to her and she just survives it, like the gonorrhea, the problem with her hysterectomy, you know, all these problems she gets and she just somehow survives. So I think she's one of those people that she'll get by.
Her immune system has to be like superstar status at this point.
Exactly. Exactly.
She's gone through a lot.
That's all I want to say.
Well, hey guys, I'm here. The party's here. No, I'm just kidding.
The party has arrived.
I decided that I would join, but I'm on my phone this time, so that's why I actually think I look better on my phone. It's a better camera. But yeah. I got a little irked and on Chantal's live. I know you guys are talking about Dee Dee, but I got a little irked on Chantal's live when I think she was talking about like her ear piercing she just got, and she's like something about don't get a hole in your head, it hurts or something like that. And I'm like, ma'am, lady, ma'am, you know nothing about having a hole in your head. Okay? So don't equate getting a piercing to having a hole in your head because it's a big difference. Okay? Yeah. So that's just something that I wanted to say because that was kind of like irritating as someone who's had 2 brain surgeries for her to be like, oh, well, don't get a hole in your head. Well, you have a piercing. That's a big difference. So, yeah.
Oh, she's just such an offensive person. I mean, there's not one group that she can't, you know what I mean? There's always somebody she just can't behave in that way.
She has the I'm sorry to say, diarrhea of the mouth is what she has.
And then she wants to like, I'm sorry, but she just wants to like get upset like at us doing the panel and stuff. But you're putting everything out there for us to like critique basically. So why are you going to get mad when we're critiquing your life, but you're putting it online? Like, make it make sense. That makes no sense.
Well, how dare we?
Yeah, exactly, huh?
In her mind, that's how it is. And it's just something that she can't, it's like you cannot have it both ways. You cannot produce. And she says, it's me, I'm living my life, but you're monetizing it and you're producing it and you're calling it content.
Yeah.
And you call yourself an entertainer, you call yourself a public figure, but what you don't get to do is the things that you do, the offensive things that you do, and then expect everyone to applaud it, because that's just not how the world works. And
her world does, though. How has she lived this way without sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm just baffled by that. I would have never gotten away with that behavior. I would have gotten my ass beat. Well, not beat, but my parents were old school though. Like you would get you know what I mean? Like
no, you said it.
She's spoiled.
I'm grateful for that because, you know, I grew up in a farm. I worked really hard, but my parents were old school. You did your chores before you get to do anything, and you don't talk back. And you know, like, and I was generally pretty, you know, I was fine with all that, but yeah, I mean, there's no boundaries for her, no consequence. But this goes beyond just how she is now, because just even the little things that we've learned about her past do show that she got away with acting and carrying on. And yeah, her mom and stepdad did try and rein it in her teen years, but I feel like that was too late at that point. I think she was so spoiled when she was little. Those are the most important parts in development with a behavioral development, like when a kid is, you know, younger. So, you know, 3 to 5 is like, that's a really important timeline.
That's your one shot right there.
Yep, and I think it was too little too late by the time they tried to rein her in, and
Yeah.
she had already just gone full tilt at that point, and now she just lives this way, but I don't understand.
Well, I mean, she's not getting away with it. She's
Well, no,
carrying.
but she's gotten away with driving high. I mean, those are the things that I'm
Oh, I
referring
see.
to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like,
Yeah, yeah.
how is she not in jail? Like, I think a lot of us have had rebellious phases, but we like something sobered us up, if that makes sense. Like, maybe you were an idiot and you had a car impounded. Maybe you had to pay a really high ticket, or you had to pay a fine because maybe you were a young adolescent and you didn't even really have a good understanding of like the law, but maybe you broke a law or something.
Something slowed you down, right? Yeah,
Right.
I
I'm
had
not
that. I
saying
had
everyone's
that.
like a little criminal, but I know I had to
Yeah,
like pay a fine before, and there were things that really made me reevaluate, okay, who am I hanging around, who, whatever, and
exactly.
changed my path a bit. And I'm just shocked with her. It's like, I don't see that.
Yeah, but the one difference to that, YTR, is you didn't do all that in public on a platform while people were paying you. There's a huge difference there.
Oh, I have too much pride. I was raised to have pride.
Yeah,
So
but
no.
all of this behavior that we keep talking about is funded. That's the whole thing. The part about, the way she's raised, I hate to say this. I'll say it anyway. Hi, Chantel. You were raised to be a bully, because when you get away with that stuff, when you are, are being abusive to your siblings, abusive to your parents, whoever they are, and allowed because of whatever is going on in that situation and how they're dealing with it, then this goes on and on and on and on and on until you get help. And like you said, YTR, that after a while it was probably too late, but she gets funded for this behavior. That's why it keeps going.
Yeah, but the disgusting part is when she used the R word, and I hope I don't have to. I don't want to even say it, but she would use the R word, and people were saying to her how on Twitter, like how terribly offensive it was, and that she used it, and she said, "Well, I get called a whale, and I'm offended about that." And it was just like you were missing the point entirely. You
Yeah.
you said things that hurt people, and because people call you names, it gives you a license to hurt other people. That, I mean, I was like, I'm not a clinician in any mental health by any means. I'm like, you freaking socio. It was really just like, I was like, this, she is like really saying this. She really believes that it is perfectly fine and justify you, like, just because people call you like that most people would say, you know what, I don't want to call anybody names because I know how hurtful that is to me. But as a
Right.
public figure slash entertainer, you've now labeled yourself, and it is incentivized. But it's really something that she doesn't have any consequence for, because people are paying money for her to be a clown. People will pay money for her to sit on the internet and humiliate herself. And somebody said, I don't remember who it was, but it was Shannon. Shannon said that people come up to her all the time and ask her what is going on with Chantal, and Shannon just kind of just shrugs her shoulders and says, I have no idea. And literally people are watching her to see how it ends. How is this? I mean, because it won't end well, you know. And Chantal is walking around in a body, like I said it before, it's like, which one of her organs is going to win the dominance for resources that her body is just not providing. I mean,
It
she
just
she abuses
it's
it in every way. Oh, go ahead.
sorry, I said it just seems painful, really. She thinks that we judge her with her body and all this. I don't really give a crap how anyone looks. Like, you know what I mean? She thinks everyone looks at her and like, oh, we assess if she's attractive or not. I couldn't care less about that. But when you look at her, you see that she's got to be in pain. There's no way that she can be healthy in a body that size. You could carry a couple extra pounds or be a little chubby and still live a totally normal life, but there is a threshold when you get to be her weight where she cannot, like, she's nearly immobile. Amber's nearly immobile, once you lose that mobility then. And whenever I look at like her, Amber, the girls, or Jen, like any of them really, it's not even just her specific. I just see they must be in a lot of pain, must be miserable. And I'm just like, I don't know how they, well, I mean, they really must be addicted to food, because I don't know how you could deal with that amount of pain and still keep going. So I guess I do believe the addiction part in that sense, because it doesn't make sense otherwise why people eat themselves that far gone, I guess.
It's coping. She's coping
Yeah.
with
Can I
stuff. Yeah.
Can I say something about the food for a second? So I'm somebody that I have an ED in recovery, and I've been recovering for a long time. It took me about 6 years to get there. And I've been watching Chantal for a while, and the reason why I started reacting to her was because I recognized that she had a problem with food, and I had a little bit different insight than most people. If you've been there, then you know how it works. So as I said, I've been watching her for a while, and if y'all remember all the way back, she was talking about weight loss surgery, was she not? Well, she'll never be approved for that because she would have to lose weight. She would be on a liquid diet. She would never pass that at all. But she was talking about the weight loss surgery. And then because she couldn't get the weight loss surgery, she'd never get approved. She went to the Ozempic. And the Ozempic is not a weight loss drug per se. It's for managing your diabetes. So she did the Ozempic for a while. And even with Ozempic, you might experience some weight loss if you follow a correct diet and if you exercise. And if I'm not mistaken, Chantal's mother was on Ozempic, wasn't she? And
Yeah.
she lost a little bit of weight. But Chantal's a very impatient person. You know, she wants everything right now, and she doesn't want to put any work into it. So she dropped the Ozempic, and this is just my opinion because I've been watching her for a while. I think that because she was not getting the results off the Ozempic that she was looking for, she started doing the stimulants, the cola. She started doing the cola. And when you're taking a stimulant like caffeine, it cuts your appetite. And she felt maybe that was the only way to stop her from eating too much food, thinking about food. She short circuited those thoughts for a while. So when she was heavily doing the cola, she lost about 60, 70 pounds. But guess what? When you do stimulants all day, there's going to come a point when you have to go to sleep. So she would do the green to come back down. And guess what happens? Guess what happens?
You get hungry.
When you do the green stuff, it makes you hungry. And since she's got an ED, that monster you put in a cage is going to come raging out saying, I'm here, let's eat. So she's over there using the cola to stave off her hunger. And yes, Chantal, I know you're watching. I want you to watch. I want you to listen, girl. So, you know, you're doing the white stuff to lose weight, and then you're doing the green stuff, and that prompts you to eat, and you're going to binge out. So using the cola to lose weight is not working because you're gaining weight. You'll go without eating for several hours, which messes with your metabolism because you're showing your body internally that there's not enough food on the outside. So any calories you put inside, hold on to that. You're messing with your own body's chemistry. And then when you binge out, you're consuming between 5, 10, 15,000 calories a day. You're not going to lose weight that way. You're just not going to. You're going to put on more than what you had before you started the cola use. So
not to mention make her health problems that much worse.
Right.
Because once you start, you know, I love this idealization she's got about, oh, I ate healthy for a month, and no, you didn't. No, you didn't. You're talking about Natter's food, not Cuba, by the way, when she said I ate for a month. Okay. But even with that, she becomes so attached and so obsessive about something that has to do with, you know, any type of addiction, eating, drugs, you know, candy, anything like that. And it is associated with somebody else. She'll stop eating a certain type of food because it's associated with Natter. You know what I'm saying? And then we move on to
apples. She started eating apples because of Roman, and she said she hated apples. She started eating apples because of him, and I'm like, this is it's so transparent. It's like, ugh.
It reminds me of her stalking behavior. Now, this sounds far-fetched, but people that have these tendencies that over-obsess and that it has to do with obsession, and it has to do with mirroring people, and it has to do with over-admiration. So when people get into, and she has displayed stalker-like tendencies, and so, but it also can bleed into other things, other behaviors, and this emulating food, it's almost like a crossover between the ED stuff, and also this stalking where it's like she's attaching that meaningful, that sentimental value of the person onto the food to feel closer to them. Meanwhile, she'll do all the other things to be closer to them as well, like drive around Nader's house, over and over and things, allegedly. Meanwhile, be eating, things that remind her of him as well when she misses him. We see that, obviously whoever she's with. When she broke up with BB, she did that as well. But yeah, it is weird. She attaches a lot of sentimental value to food in a way, and she's done that for, well, I guess BB's the first time I noticed it. I'm sure she's done it her whole life.
We haven't seen Mafe since she we haven't seen. She said, "Oh, I love Senegalese food." And when as soon as she left BB, we did not see Mafe not one time.
Yeah, and even if you might not prepare the food, you can find
it
depends where you live, but if you live in an area near a city, even if she couldn't find like specifically Senegalese Senegal food from Senegal, sorry, I don't know the way, but she could find like African food somewhere. There are restaurants, you can find it even if you can't prepare it. But yeah, when BB was gone, that's it. There it goes.
Well, I think we started getting into the Jamaican patties because of Monty, to be honest. I'm sorry.
Well, I gotta admit, the patties had to do with her aunt and her fantasy of moving to Jamaica.
Well, somebody told her about Monty's channel.
Wait,
really? They go back and they tell her about.
Wait, the patties had to do with you, Monty?
Well, it was her aunt.
I don't know.
It was
maybe
her aunt.
Yeah, I think half and half, right? It's mostly her aunt probably telling her the stories of her sexual trysts in Jamaica, which honestly they do happen, but that's neither near or there. I'm just saying.
I gotta admit that I actually learned how to make mafe because of her. Because I thought it was interesting. It looked good when BB made it. I watched that video. So after that, I actually ended up making it. So I got to hand it to her. She made me want to make it.
Well, see, and she knows how to make it, so that's the thing.
So
that's right, she did.
If she's Foodie Beauty, that's how she started out. Why couldn't she just kept up with it and did that? Make food, try food, introduce us to different foods. Then she'd be like true to herself. You know what I mean?
Wow, you just said something right there, Loopy. Does she know who she is, though?
She's lost herself. She's totally lost herself.
Yeah.
And she's regressed from being an adult to being a teenager with this nader chasing, with this boy chasing. She's a horny teenager. That's what she is. A horny teenager trying out all this drugs and, being a sex whatever, just free sex, it's just, I don't know. I don't think she's being true to herself.
And it's such a hang up. Like, the attention from men is so important to her. And she looks at the camera and she says, "You're not going to convince me that I'm not beautiful." And it's like, nobody's trying to convince you of that. We've been screaming that you can do better. Like, right.
She's a pretty girl. Honestly, I think she has a beautiful face. When I see her, I see a beautiful face. But because she's so ugly in the inside, people just see ugly. You know what I mean?
That's it.
She's still stuck on this, like, even the rant she did earlier. I think she mentioned it. I kind of blanked out a little bit. But I think even earlier she mentioned that people on Monty's panel are jealous and think she's fat and ugly. We don't say you're fat and ugly. Chantel, if you're here, we don't say you're fat and ugly. We say that you have other problems. It's your attitude and this and that. So if you're here, Chantel, I do not think I don't have problems against you because you are big and you're not ugly. Okay? The problems I have against you are because of other things. So let's get that straight first of all, because that's the thing. And I just want to say, if you guys notice, I'm messing with my nose a lot. I don't do the things that Chantel does. I have sinus issues. I just noticed that I mess my nose. I mess with it a lot because I have sinus issues. So I want to throw that out there. It's not because of other things.
Bottom line, she wants to talk about body positivity and other people that, she was trying to raise up by posting something and they got upset. If you truly are that body positive, my dear, okay, then don't worry and stop sitting there saying and projecting onto other people what they think, because you don't know. All right. I happen to think I agree with Loopy in a matter of she has that potential to be a very beautiful person. I have yet to see it. She has way before the trips, in times there were moments where I was like, I can see it. She could be pleasant, she could be enjoyable, she could be comedic, she can be, a cool friend. Even in Cuba, when she was like, oh, look at the pretty, the baby and all that, I was like, you know what, that actually looks like she actually is smiling. Or, sometimes I catch it and I'm like, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? So you're always questioning, but there is the potential there. Nobody sits up here all day saying, well, that fat SOB, blah, 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 blah. Nobody's doing that. That's in your head, Missy. That's in your head.
I think
Also,
she is. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I think she's the one that's caught up with her beauty, and because she's middle aged. And truth be told, I will speak about myself. You look back at pictures of yourself, like when you get a certain age, because me and like Chantal's a few months older than me, you start looking at yourself and you wonder about your changes. You wonder about, like, did I always look like this? Like, what's going on with you think about yourself when you get middle aged. It's true what people say. You go on this like midlife. I'm not gonna say I have a crisis, but you think about it. And I think that's why she's so focused on being an ageist and calling us, they're old and they're bitter and they're this and they're that, because she has to project that stuff because she doesn't have the coping mechanisms to deal with any of it. She doesn't have the ability to deal with the life changes that she's going through. She had a huge life change when she was rather young. That usually doesn't occur for most people until they're much older, as far as having a hysterectomy is concerned. That's a huge life change for a woman anyway. I mean, y'all know what I'm trying to say. So it's like Chantal tries to disassociate herself from her age, and I'm like, dear, you're calling people old. She's sitting next to Carly Steele in a bra, for some reason in a bra, and I'm thinking to myself, boy, Carly is really pretty. Chantal must be having a rough time, So
This is
she's the one hung up on
also
her looks. She's the one. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
This also has to do, though, with a problem that a lot of people have. Over comparing yourself to other people will get you nowhere. You have to, no matter what age you are, stop comparing yourselves to other people. Everyone is so different. And also, like, she does this all the time. And yes, I do think she's worried about her age as well. But I also think this is probably something she did in her teen years, being a little mean girl, bullying other people, other girls, whatever. Like, I think this is something she's always done. And I think it is something she will always do unless she unless she gets help, but whatever. And also, there's a lot of this I see in society. A lot of women, once you reach after 30, you notice people treat you a little differently or whatever. But you have to let that not affect your self-worth and get rid of those, basically just kind of the problematic things that trickled down from the past. It's gotten a lot better, but even the media and things like that, there's a lot of kind of internalized misogyny that trickled down, actually affecting a lot of the women, because this is where these negative ideas of age comes from.
I
People
agree
don't think
100%.
about that,
I
but there are other
agree.
cultures where they don't think of the women aren't. Now there are other cultures where the women do get bugged by this too, so I'm not just generalizing here, but there are other cultures where they don't see age as such a negative thing for women or in general, whatever. But I think that this is something that a lot of women go through, but you got to get over it's really, aging is normal. It's human. Nobody looks at an older man and is like, why do you have a wrinkle? Nobody does that. So why do we abuse ourselves like this? Needs to end.
Well, Chantal throws it around.
It's
It
too
absolutely
much.
does. And she throws around age. And somebody saying that
Yes,
I'm
she
middle
does.
aged is not an insult to me, because it's a reality. and I don't have an issue of dealing with reality. But you know, Chantal is the one that has an issue with dealing with the fact that she's middle aged. And so when she says they're old and they're bitter and they're this and they're that, I see exactly why she says that, because she says she says what she thinks shake people and shocks people. And
Yeah.
so
And I think she thinks it's normal the way she sees it. Like, I get
Yeah.
what you're saying, and I wouldn't say that you see it that way, but I do get that she thinks it's normal what
Yeah.
she does. She
Yeah.
thought more people would agree with her when she did these insults, or she thought somehow like that it was like more normal, I guess, because she couldn't believe us saying, hey, it doesn't matter what age they are. And she looked shocked when people are kind of like trying to check her on it.
She does.
But she
And she
continues
did you guys
to
notice
do it.
oh sorry, I'm
Oh,
gonna
I'm
kind
good.
of switch it the topic right now. Like when people were talking to her, like people were super chatting, but a lot of people in the chat were bringing up Natter. And did you guys notice that she refused to acknowledge anything about Natter? And she made this statement, and please correct me if I'm wrong, everybody. She said that he threatened to charge her with harassment if he didn't stop talking about her, if she didn't stop talking about him. And I thought, when is, you know, I, I don't know, it's BS. But for somebody that is as flippant and just totally just disregards any kind of authority in any way, like a teenager's, which is why I brought it up. She's like a teenager in that sense. Does anybody buy that at all?
I have no idea what to think about that, but I did hear the comment and it was very strange to me as well. I just didn't bring it up because she just says a lot of stuff. Like what she was doing now is in some ways rather impressive, that she can constantly go for hours on end talking really about nothing. Because what have you gained? No, it's actually quite impressive. It is.
Well,
I
when she
wouldn't be
did
able to
that,
do it. It's
she
like,
can do
honestly,
that, yes.
I'm sitting in front of you and I can talk for 4 hours about literally nothing by going in circles, but not in the way that it's obvious. It's like she goes in circles every couple of like 15 minutes, 20 minutes, but it's going in circles with saying the same thing, but with different words. Like it's really quite impressive. So I didn't really pay much attention to, but I did hear that, Andrea, and I thought it was peculiar. Rose, were you gonna say something, or Collie?
I was. Why would you find that peculiar? This is what she does. She finds ways to drop little droplets. I saw Natter. I saw Natter. I'm not going to tell you. I don't want to talk about it. But oh, by the way, he told me if I talk about him, he's going to charge me. I mean, come on.
Do you think it's like manipulation or just her regular communication style? Probably both, but I don't know.
I think it's. Oh, sorry.
I just wanted to say this about Chantal, as someone that's been, again, watching her for a long time. I think one of her main problems is that she feels a lot of emptiness inside herself, and she tries to compensate by filling up the holes outside. And she's just not getting it. That no matter what she buys, no matter what she eats, no matter how many men she chases, she's still going to have that emptiness inside, and that's not going to go away until she figures it out and she fills it up. You know, like her life is all about instant gratification. You know, I got now. But no matter what she consumes and how much, she still feels empty inside. And she's always angry about that. She's not really getting it, that you can fill up one hole or the other outside, but on the inside, you're still going to feel empty. And you're still going to be vengeful, and you're still going to be angry about that until you figure that out.
Well, I just thought that was a peculiar. I thought it was a lie, because I mean, we said it before, like people that have been in a part of the system the way he has, they do not go to the police. But like, I think it was a lie, and I think like it's just another. It's just what everybody said. It's garbage. It was weird. It's weird.
The longer it goes on, the more I doubt just any charges were ever
even filed.
done. I think they threaten each other all the time, but I don't think anything.
But what about May?
May at this point, I feel like is just clout chasing. I don't mean to victim shame. I don't know what went on. Obviously, none of us do. But at this point, it's like she's doing the same thing that Chantel does and leaves us like little droplets, like Rose said. These little stones she throws and gives us just a little taste. Don't forget about May. Don't forget about May. Disappears, and then another one. And it's just like, well, what's like? Do you want to be open about it, or do you want to be private? Like, I don't understand.
I don't know, because I don't watch May's videos because they're too triggering for me to hear somebody talk about that topic, about what happened to her. I can't say what happened, but if she has an existing case, I would not. I mean, I can believe it. I can believe he goes around hurting women. I believe that.
I was gonna say it does
So-
fit within his archetype. I mean, not to just place endless things, but I mean, it's not far fetched that he would do something like that. We're never gonna really know the truth. Well, maybe not never, but we're not gonna know the truth at this time. But it is kind of like with the behavior he's had, it isn't as far fetched. But yes, if you do have something happen, it's not good to. The internet is not the law, so it's not a good move to do all that. If I was really serious about something like that, I would not be public about it, and I would take care of things behind the scenes, especially if you are afraid of somebody. It's better to, confide in a friend, of course, someone in real life, but not in a public platform. Just not a safe idea, for anybody. Like, I don't know.
I don't know enough about May, and I don't think really any of us do. Maybe like Kiwi Farms and stuff, because they know everything. But so I wouldn't say whether or not I know for sure anything happened, because it's just I don't know her. I don't know what could have happened. But I will say, especially after the messages that we saw, from Natter to the
about
old
those
woman,
mods, yeah.
and things like that kind of shows me that something like that could be possible. Like he it looks like he does like to manipulate older people. So I feel like it could happen, but I'm not going to say it did because I don't know. But I feel like it could be a possibility based on what we just saw earlier. So I don't know.
Monty,
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
did you see Diana Lynn's comment in your last video, the last Monty After Dark? She wrote a whole 3 or 4 paragraphs underneath the video.
I did not see it.
Wait,
Yeah.
who did? Foodie?
Diana Lynn.
Oh,
Okay.
Diana.
On this channel or my main one?
You're the one from this morning, Monty After Dark.
Okay, I'm gonna have to check that
Who
out.
is Diana Lynn?
I saw it.
The older mod from Nader's channel.
Oh.
They listen. They come here and listen. She did describe in the comment that she listens, and and she goes into greater detail of why she got involved and the way she felt and what was the last straw for her. I just thought it was like, wow. Okay, so
Yeah, I'll have to check that out too. That's interesting.
She did a whole long post about she was 74 years old, and she's on Social Security and disability. She has a small pension, and she's housebound. And she was one of Monty, sorry, Natter's mods, and she gave him money. She gave Natter money. And she was heartbroken when she found out that he might be going to jail. And she said that Natter allegedly had a fondness for motherly women.
Oh God!
But after that whole thing of
that doesn't shock me.
That she sent money through PayPal.
Sorry, that doesn't shock me at all.
I mean, we just keep learning more and more and more about this dude. Like God.
But she sent
It's
him
not funny, but it is. It's
PayPal, and she was heartbroken after the fact that he's going to jail, and then Dee Dee was telling her, get over it. But after this whole thing with the April Fool's stunt and the motel thing, she's no longer a mod. But there she is, 74 years old, living on a pension, living on Social Security and disability. And she's giving money to this man. He's milking older women for money.
Yeah, it's disgusting that he's doing this. But what did people expect when you knew that he's known to a certain community to be a person described as, was it persona non grata? What is it? Yeah, persona non grata, which means a person who is not welcome within a certain community. That's exactly what he is.
That's
But
very extreme. He has
pretty
a
much
title like that.
all of us knew that. Like
Yeah.
FFG talked about it, but like, listen,
He
he's known to the community as this type of
Well,
guy you do not want to be around. He
yes,
has
and people doubted FFGs, but here's the thing. This is a common thing with all immigrants is I have immigrants in my family, and it's just a thing. It's a community thing. It's not to single out a type of where someone's from. It's when there's a lot of immigrants, they have a community and they know of the people in there. Like my sister-in-law knows all the Korean gossip. She's not even a drama queen like that. She stays out of everything, but she still knows, and she still likes to know who's not good to be around or whatever because they're kids. So yes, I mean, people talk in communities in general, so it makes sense. But
man, ugh.
Mhm.
I gotta go look at the comments, man. Dang.
You
I
know,
mean,
after reading even part of this post from her, the way she described everything, I honestly believe everything that she had to say. Like, why go into all this detail? I mean, this lady wrote like good couple paragraphs worth of stuff on this comment, and she seems really like sincere about it, honestly.
That's so sad.
I'm
I think
so glad that there are reaction channels because she would have nowhere to go otherwise. Just imagine if there was no one out there giving a counter voice to what is going on. And I mean, she came here. Evidently, she came here because she felt like she needed a place to go. But if reaction channels did not exist, and there was nobody that was talking, you know, objectively, or I'm not going to say negatively, but if reaction channels didn't exist to talk about this stuff, she would have nowhere. She would have nobody to tell. Who would she tell?
Exactly. There has to be a place somewhere, and that's one of the reasons why I've joined is because I've always wanted to be part of something that was available to people that were suffering through something similar or that was going through something they didn't understand. Or, I mean, it's not just about the person, it's about what is being influenced. They talk about influencers, but there's also the negative aspect of it. And there's not very many places outside of drama channels, which really just highlights them, that people can actually discuss what's making them feel like or what is going through their minds as they're watching this. Because again, we're all human beings here. And I know it's not just one of them. Those Beezers are coming over here too, okay? And look at Danny's channel. Danny's got Damn It Danny's channel is dedicated to past VIBs and anyone, even if you weren't a VIB, to go over there and to just chill out and have fun and try to get through it. Just like you were going to, somewhere with a friend or hanging out with, like at a group or something, supportive. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's important for this kind of stuff. That's why the main people don't like it. See, they don't like that because they're like, no. Don't pay attention to the sense they're making. Pay attention to all my chaos because you're paying me.
Well, I question anybody that gives Natter money. I mean, if he's trying to put out this vibe of I'm desperate and I'm lacking in funds, let's look at the logic and the reason behind that. He's living with Dee Dee, which means he's got a roof over his head. She's buying the groceries. She's making money. So, like, he's not going to be homeless. He's also getting money from Chantal. So, how does this man need money? His needs are taken care of. Apparently, they're taken care of to the point where he doesn't have to get a job. He went to go spend time with Foodie in a hotel room or a motel room. So if he's going to his friends with benefits and saying, "Oh, I need money and I'm going to jail," no, he don't. No, he don't. He's getting plenty of money from Chantal. Dee Dee's taking care of him. He's living in her house. She's buying the groceries. What is this that he needs money?
He's fleecing these older ladies that, I mean, they believe him. And they have to have meetings with him, and he calls them all day. Like, he calls random people all day. Like, who does that stuff?
I think it's not just like elderly women. I think it's just people in general who are looking for like a purpose. You know what I mean? Like like Foodie. She wants to be motherly to somebody. She wants to take care of somebody, so she says. So she found this man who literally lets her do whatever, pay for whatever. These other women are giving him money, and not just elderly, also younger people, and they just want to be a part of, this community that he says, my mods mean everything to me and whatever. And yeah, it's just it's just really disgusting. And I saw that
Yeah.
DG said we should have her on the panel. What was her name? Diana Lynn, so she could speak her truth, without judgment. I'm sure none of us would sit here and be like, "The hell's wrong with you giving him money?"
And she thought she was doing good. That's all. She thought she was helping somebody that obviously, when if she saw him and she saw somebody she loved or cared for, she said, he reminds me so much of my son, and I think he's a good guy. I want to help him. That's enough. That's enough.
But are we forgetting where this started though? Like, okay, am I losing it here? Come on, the first
No,
date
I mean
with
we
the trap
don't.
house, with the pipe, with this and that. How do these people? Okay, I don't understand this. Okay, because he was never marketed as any kind of person, like besides somebody.
But he
that
started his
is a
cooking
danger
channel,
to people.
and the
Like,
algorithm doesn't show those videos. He started a
that's true. I mean,
cooking
they delete
channel, and
everything. Yeah.
And I just I really, I mean, I can see it. I can see it happening, especially to people. All they have is their
where I'm
memories
from, if you
sometimes.
do that, you're gonna end up dead. So I learned to have some common sense and to be careful who I'm around pretty quick, because guys like that.
I'll get listen. Older people. I work with the public all the time. Older people, they're not gullible. They just want love and attention. He probably gave her some attention, whether it's talking to her, just showing any kind of attention. And it's kind of like that kind of attention. You just
There's
when you're
so
at
many
that age,
people you could help, volunteer, go to an animal shelter.
Yeah, but
he's
go
a
to
con
nursing
artist.
homes.
He's a younger man, and for her, it's like, oh, this young man. Even if she said it was a mother-son relationship, regardless of age, she was getting attention.
Yeah.
And when you get attention, whether it's from a loser like him, you're gonna take it, and that's what she got. So
I just think people need to be more comfortable with being alone sometimes. Like, learn to be with your own thoughts, learn to be self-assured.
Or go to a senior home and join other older people, or
Yeah,
even go to the park, or you know how they have those.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying she's a bad person. I'm just kind of like, okay, this guy was never harmless. He's been rude to all the women at some point. But yeah, I know what you guys are saying. I'm not. I get what
Especially
you're
if the algorithm propped him up as a cooking channel. He probably popped up in her feed, and she's probably not even one of Chantal's haters. She's probably literally somebody that watches cooking shows all day.
Yeah, in all due respect with that, maybe she's someone that's not exactly very physically capable to just get up and start volunteering everywhere either. A lot of the reasons why people get involved like this is because it's accessible. It's you need something to occupy your mind. You need somebody to care for, and it's some point, whether, I mean, I can definitely understand that. If you're in a, I miss my grandchildren, I miss my son, my daughter, whatever, and oh, look at this person, has an elderly mother that they talk highly about, and he cooks and and you get involved. It's easy. I'm not saying that it should be so easy for everybody and everybody's that gullible, but there are many, many different types of people out there. So maybe this is a person that wasn't able to just go to, a shelter and do this, that, and the other. Maybe she does. Maybe she's just somebody who does, who just helps everybody. You know what I'm saying? We don't know.
Well,
Yeah,
she did say in her post that she was housebound. So,
well, it's a pandemic, though. There's so many lonely people on the internet, and she's got to grab onto this one. It's just kind of sad. I'm not trying to say, I get it. Sometimes you get close to people you shouldn't. It's not like I'm perfect at that my whole life, but it's kind of like frustrating, though, because it's like, obviously these people don't deserve to latch on to him. And it's just like seeing the whole story. I've been here since before, like I've seen the whole thing play out. So yeah, I know you guys have too. So when you've seen the whole arc and like all of it play out, it's just kind of like, oh, there's already so many people that that have been involved in this from the outside that shouldn't even be. But
yeah, and he goes real life so fast. He's a menace. Everybody's saying it. He's a menace.
Yeah.
He's a menace. He's a predator. He's all of the horrible labels I can find. It's really crazy. It's really crazy.
I don't know. It's sad. And like, I hope that the people that do come out of that stay out of it and don't revert back. That's what I'm worried about with these mods, because it's easy to kind of come out and say something, but hopefully she's like done with it.
Because I hope so. Annie P keeps popping up in my mind. I'm like, Annie P, just stay away.
Yeah, maybe this will send out a message to others to drop him too, like a hot potato, like he deserves to be, because he doesn't deserve any friends with. Even the title of what he calls them, friends with benefits, which he probably got from her. Didn't she give him that?
You know it.
Yeah, she did. She did.
You know it.
Gives me creep vibes.
Ugh.
So she's joined into the disgust, just like Dee Dee is.
Dee Dee just. I mean, she seemed like she was the stable one. I don't know. Just now she's just gross. Dee Dee is gross to me. I can't, like, the whole April Fool's thing. I was like, really? I mean, Dee Dee, really? You think somebody with the stability that she has, there's no way in the world I would let a fool like that move into my place. No, but she did. And it could be because she's lonely. It could be because she's desperate. I still do not see the reason. I don't see the reason that she would let him move in with her. I just don't get it. And now he's missing a tooth. I'm like, what's the story behind that? What's really going on? I don't get it.
I just want to know, like, does this make sense to anyone? Why this woman will not allow herself to be on camera?
We've seen you.
Exactly.
Right.
Maybe she couldn't handle all the criticisms, because obviously if you go on camera, then people are going to talk about. I think that probably messed with her more than she's probably not bringing that up, which is smart, because the more you bring up your insecurities, the more people will bring them up if you're online. So it's better to not show that. So I think it did mess with her a bit. Maybe that's why. That's my only guess.
I agree. And it's like the minute she goes on camera, Chantel is right there to just like rip on her.
That might be part of it too. That's probably a big part too. She's like, I don't even want this.
Chantel had an upfront, close and personal. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Don't remind us.
You're talking about the Stephen Harper?
Uh-huh.
Oh, man.
I think the reason why Dee Dee allowed Natter in her house is very simple. Money. Chantal money. Because they're all in on it together. If Natter's there with her, that means she gets a kickback from that money.
At this point, I think
I do think they go off script sometimes.
Every single time I sit back and I think about this, I'm like, holy crap, what if that really is it? They're all in on it and they're just trying to get as much money out of everybody as possible. Like, it is a plausible angle, is what I will say. It really is.
They have to be all in, because think about the things that Chantal has said about Natter and Dee Dee. Like, really, like, you're not just gonna sit back and let this person just totally tear you apart day after day after day and just be cool with it. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me, and just like every time something happens, a day later it's like forgotten and nobody's talking about it. It's so weird. Like, there's just no way.
The way Natter dragged her was so thorough and so. I don't think him dragging her was fake. I think he went off. Somebody went off scripts. I think they did have a plan. Everybody had a plan, and everybody had a part that they all agreed to. But somewhere somebody went off script And that's where the rages come from. And then they'll rage and they'll rage, and then eventually they'll come back together. And that's what that meeting was when they went to the hotel. That is what that meeting was. They came back and they said, okay, well, what is the next storyline going to be? Well, I'll just say I have COVID and everybody will forget. And she will not talk about it. She will not address the Natter comments
Yeah,
at
I can
all.
believe that. Definitely.
You
And
know, I was gonna say they could all be in on it every weekend, or whenever they have time. They're all together. There's starfishing going on and whatever, and everybody's one big happy family, and they're kicking back and flipping up the finger and aha, we got you guys. That could be happening. You never know.
Mm-hmm. The
well,
longer it's gone on, the more I wonder that.
I think that Chantal is jealous that he's in Dee Dee's bed. I don't think that dude's sleeping. He's not sleeping on a couch. But
yeah.
I mean, and that's fine. But why are you online?
Sorry, I giggle a lot, guys. I'm sorry. And sometimes I laugh at things that I'm not laughing like I'm happy. Sometimes it's so absurd that it makes me like a sarcastic laugh. So I just want to let that known because, anyways, sorry, go on.
I mean, exactly, Tweety Kens. If this isn't all the setup that they are all in on, that I'd have to say that Dee Dee and Nat are being superhuman about not responding to FB's wild accusations. Tweety Kens, yes. I mean, Chantal has said some horrific things that I would absolutely get in my car or get in an Uber and show up at her house. The stuff that she did about Dee Dee's mom, those were fighting. It was fighting, like fight you in the streets stuff that she said about Dee Dee's mom. Right. And the things that she said and did while she was raging in Cuba. I would show up with a lawyer. I would show up with some paperwork. I mean, I might show up at her house. It's just stuff you don't do. But there was there was nothing. And I was literally shocked. I was shocked that Dee Dee had nothing to say about Chantal doing that about her mom. And I thought, man, I would just be so upset about that, and nothing.
Right. And it's not like Dee Dee can't talk about her. She
exactly
said it a million times, like, oh, like I'm allowed to talk about her, but Nader isn't. Okay, so like you have nothing to say. Like, I find that really, if anybody docks my mom and was like, oh, go call this home and like this woman would not be breathing anymore.
I don't know what I would do. I don't know what I would
do.
I would be in jail. I'd be in jail. 100%. There's no way. There's no way.
But it could also be that Dee Dee's just so coked up the way Chantal is, or Coca-Cola. Sorry, I don't know.
Exactly.
Yeah, we don't know much about Dee Dee. You're right.
She says she drinks, though. She says that she drinks a lot. So
right.
That's her drug is the alcohol. So maybe Dee Dee heard everything and just forgot everything because when you drink, you forget the next day. Just like Chantel forgot. She said she had a Barracuda PUSSY.
Oh
right?
Ooh.
She didn't forget, Loopy. She just changed her mind.
She just changed her mind.
Oh, man.
She can't lie, okay? She changes her mind all the time. But Chantel does not lie. She never lies.
No.
Never in her life has she told a lie. She changes her mind all the time.
So this is the real Beezer Corporation now. Chantal literally has employees now.
I guess so. They're gonna be beezing all the time, I guess. Reinventing herself.
It's the only thing that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, maybe that's where she got the idea from, because they're in cahoots. So why not make a show about people being in cahoots?
And she's also talked about wanting her own reality show.
Right? Yeah. There's so much to this that I sometimes is like, what is going on right now? Because I have no idea. I'm just waiting for this to all be aired out. So if there's an actual court case, I have to hear what's going on at that court case.
I was just going to say, though, with the Beezer show thing, maybe it's Minx that's seeing Nader. It's not Chantel. Maybe it's Minx, because isn't she the one that was running around with Jose or whoever? So maybe it's Minx. She's the the
Minx is the office socialite or whatever bullshit.
No, at the end of the day, in 2 months, when the curtain is pulled, the one thing you're going to see is DLF. That's the whole arc to
That's the
this.
whole.
The whole
I
ending
hope
is
so.
dun,
I
dun,
hope
at the end,
so.
it's DLF.
He's the last
Oh,
one
MJ,
standing.
please don't remind me of DLF.
I'm
I guess
sorry.
we still
Yeah,
got
me either.
that
Uh-oh.
ninja fight to go to with nunchucks.
I
Bring your
learned
penis pump.
If you see
I
a
Yeah.
penis
learned a
pump, Monty,
lot
just
of
run. Just
interesting
run.
things about myself that I had no idea about. Like I didn't even know all these things that he's like this. I'm like, dang, there's a lot about myself that I didn't even know. Thank you for letting me know though. I didn't know these things. I didn't know I was trans, first of all. Apparently I am. I'm a female. I always have been. As far as I know, I always will be. But apparently I'm trans, so that's a thing.
Well, if DLF says it or Chantel says or middle-aged, jealous, sad women, it's all true.
Yep, I got 6 heads and like a big, like lump on my knee, and I mean, they call me an ogre every day, so I'm used to
We're
it.
all jealous. Just
Mhm.
DLF, let me talk to Mama Scrunch. I love her. Oh my god.
Oh my
I
Right.
wish
gosh,
this was my
Mama
mom.
Scrunch.
Yeah, we need more Mama Scrunch scenes. Like,
I
bring back
was
Mama
looking
Scrunch.
for, you know what? I actually was trying to find more phone calls because after you did the episode with the cold turkey thing, and it,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, I was trying to find more calls because it was like it's so good. She is so funny.
Yeah,
She
it was
she needs to be
awesome.
part of the panel. She needs to
Yes.
be part of the panel.
Yes.
That'd be awesome.
DLF, please just get your mom on here. Come
Yes, we want to hear stories.
We'll
I
treat her
mean,
better than
she
we treat her. Shit.
like he was going on and on about something, and she said, "Michael, I don't really care about any of this. I don't care about this. What are you talking about right now? What are you?" I was like, "Yeah, Mama Scrunch, what is he talking about right now? Oh my god!" And so she was just so good. It was so good.
She doesn't even put up with his crap.
No,
she doesn't.
Mama Scrunch versus Chantel. Go.
Oh
Discuss.
boy, I think we know who would win.
At least we know
I'd
Mama
love to see
Scrunch
it.
has tons of patience because for her to deal with Michael for 2 hours straight on the phone call, and all he kept on doing was going in circles over and over and over again.
I mean, she has to be like a Zen master or something. Like, man, like
Right. Exactly. Well, I was also gonna say let's wrap this up and we'll do this tomorrow again. So, as clockwise, Rose Thorne, any closing thoughts?
I had one thought, but it kind of escaped me. But there's something I wanted to put out there for everybody. If you guys remember, Chantal said that she wanted her own reality show. She said that. And for a long time, she was on her channel and she was doing everything herself. She was doing the mukbangs and making money. Now, why Dee Dee and Natter have been added, I feel is because at a certain point, she decided that, what she was doing on her own, it wasn't interesting enough and people were losing interest. So she had to bring in other people to make it more interesting, to keep people fixated on her channel, because if people aren't fixated on her channel, then she doesn't get the views, she doesn't get the super chats. Hence why she brought in Dee Dee and Natter and made them essentially into employees. And Pete also functions as an employee to cover for her when she needs him to cover for her. She's always complaining about Dee Dee. Oh, like Dee Dee's always simping for Natter. Well, guess what? You got a simp too, and his name is Pete. Like he covers for her when she needs him to, and Dee Dee will say whatever Natter wants her to. But she has to keep the drama going. She has to keep it going. That's how she makes money. Her channel is not about positive content; it's about negative content. So the more players she adds to the game, the longer the game can go on, the longer the show can go on.
Thank you, Rose Thorne, Cauliflower.
Thank you. Thank you again, Monty, and of course, my beloved panelists and chat. And I have one thing to say. We didn't bring it up, but hey, Roman, drop the tea, man, because the videos are just, they're way past their prime. They're no longer, drop the tea. Enough. Enough. Thank you.
Andrea?
Yeah. Thank you, Rose, for coming. Thank you, everybody. I'm so happy that there are new people joining the panel, and I'm really happy that someone from I don't know if I want to use the word victim, but I'm happy that the former mod of Natter's channel came and left that comment. So if you're listening, thank you for doing that. and I hope that you still feel you're a good person. If you feel foolish, don't beat yourself up too much. You're good. You are good. You had a good intention, and so I hope that you don't run into any more natters in your life. And I hope everybody has a good weekend.
All right, thank you, Andrea YTR.
Yeah, I'm just Mama Scrunch's biggest fan, and make it happen, lady. I would love to meet you. You're the best, coolest ever. And beside that, yeah, I mean, I think everyone on here is really intelligent, always informative conversations, and everyone's been super nice to me. And I just stopped lurking just recently, but it goes to show you, not every lurker is bad, because I've been watching behind the scenes for a while. I just decided to talk randomly. So thanks everyone for being so welcoming and nice.
Yeah, you're welcome, YTR. Ray Ray.
Oh, I don't think I have anything to say about Chantal right now, other than what I've already said about her. It's great, again to be on panel with everybody and the new members. I'm glad you guys came on. Was it as bad as you guys thought it would be? But yeah, I'm glad you came on, and I hope you come on again. And Hazel came up to say bye. Oh, where's she at? Where's she at? There's
Oh,
Hazel.
bye,
Oh,
Hazel.
Kitty,
well,
hi
she is.
Kitty.
All right, she's saying bye.
Nice.
All right, thank you, Ray Ray. Loopy Star.
It's my first time here. Thanks for having me. I'm still dumbfounded that did she really give that guy her laptop? That's where I'm at still. I'm still like not sure if she did or she did that just to get, sympathy on another trick up her sleeve. So yeah, that's where I'm at. Thank you.
Ali Lou, last but not least.
Just thank you again for having me. I always have a great time here on panel with everyone. And I want to take bets on when Chantal will leave her freaking apartment and infect everybody with COVID. Another Pennington.
Oh no!
She's already left.
Oh
But yeah,
no!
Pennington's COVID hall.
4 days. 4 days, I think. I want to say 4 days.
I was going to say 4.
There we go. Rose and me. Same mindset.
Need to
I'm
get
gonna
a
say
floor going.
3 days.
I'm with YTR. 3 days.
I'm gonna say she's already left the apartment.
I'm with
Oh,
Andrea, yeah.
probably.
I'm with Andrea on this one, yeah, for sure.
Oh God.
Anytime.
Thank you,
Yeah.
everyone.
Well, thank you so much, everybody. I
Thank
really
you,
appreciate
Mona.
this. This was
Thank
a
you,
great
Mona.
one, as always. And I will see everybody tomorrow for another Monty After Dark. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.